these things. Yeah, this is pollution. Pollution is the effect of undesirable changes in our surroundings that have harmful effects on plants, animals, and human beings. This occurs when only short-term economic gains are made at the cost of a long-term ecological benefits for humanity. No natural phenomenon has led to greater ecological changes that have been made by mankind. During the last few decades, we have contaminated our air, water, and land on which life itself depends with a variety of waste products. Pollutants include solid, liquid, or gaseous substances present in greater than natural abundance produced due to human activity, which have a detrimental effect on our environment. The nature and concentration of a pollutant determines the severity of detrimental effects on human health. An average human requires about 12 kilograms of air each day, which is nearly 12 to 15 times greater than the amount of food we eat. Thus, even a small concentration of pollutants in the air becomes more significant in comparison to the similar levels present in food. Pollutants that enter water have the ability to spread to distant places, especially in the marine ecosystem. In this chapter, we are going to talk about air pollution and climate change. Air pollution occurs due to the presence of undesirable solid or gaseous particles in the air in quantities that are harmful to human health and the environment. Air may get polluted by natural causes such as volcanoes, which release ash, dust, sulfur, and other gases, or by forest fires that are occasionally naturally caused by lightning. However, unlike pollutants from human activity, naturally occurring pollutants tend to remain in the atmosphere for a short time and do not lead to permanent atmospheric change. Pollutants that are emitted directly from undeniable sources are produced both by natural events, for example, dust storms and volcanic eruptions, and human activities, emissions from vehicles and industries. These are called primary pollutants. There are 5 primary pollutants that together contribute about 90% of the global air pollution. These are carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, volatile organic compounds, and suspended particulate matter. Pollutants that are produced in the atmosphere when certain chemical reactions take place among their primary pollutants are called secondary pollutants. For example of secondary pollutants are sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and carbonic acid. Carbon monoxide is a colorless, odorless, and toxic gas produced when organic materials such as natural gas, coal, or wood are incompletely burnt. Vehicular exhaust are the single largest source of carbon monoxide. Sulfur oxides are produced when sulfur-containing fossil fuel are burnt. Nitrogen oxides are found in vehicular exhaust. Nitrogen oxides are significant as they are involved in the production of secondary air pollutants such as ozone. Hydrocarbons are a group of compounds consisting of carbon and hydrogen atoms. They either evaporate from fuel supplies or are remnants of fuel that did not burn completely. Hydrocarbons are washed out by the air when it rains and run into surface water. Particulates are small pieces of solid material, for example, smoke particles from fires, bits of asbestos, dust particles, and ash from industries dispersed into the atmosphere. The effects of particulates range from soot to the carcinogenic, the cancer-causing effects of asbestos, dust particles, and ash from industrial plants that are dispersed into the atmosphere. Lead is a major air pollutant that remains largely unmonitored and is emitted by vehicles. High lead levels have been reported in the ambient air in metropolitan cities. Leaded petrol is the primary source of airborne lead emissions in Indian cities. Pollutants are also found indoors. from infiltration or polluted outside air, and from various chemicals used or produced inside buildings. Both indoor and outdoor air pollution are equally harmful. We are already done on introducing air pollution, and now let's proceed to the climate change. Climate is sometimes mistaken for weather, but climate is different from weather because it is measured over a long period of time, whereas weather can change from day to day or from year to year. The climate of an area includes seasonal temperature and rainfall averages and wind patterns. Different places have different climates. A desert, for example, is referred to an arid climate because little water falls as rain or snow during the year. Other types of climate include tropical climates, which are hot and humid, and temperate climates, which have warm summers and cooler winters. Climate change. Climate change is a long-term alteration of temperature and typical weather patterns in a place. Climate change could refer to a particular location or the planet as a whole. Climate change may cause weather patterns to be less predictable. These unexpected weather patterns can make it difficult to maintain and grow crops in regions that rely on farming because expected temperature and rainfall levels can no longer be relied on. Climate change has also been connected with other damaging weather events such as more frequent and more intense hurricanes, floods, downpours, and winter storms. In polar regions, the warming global temperatures associated with climate change have meant ice sheets and glaciers are melting at an accelerated rate from season to season. This contributes to sea levels rising in different regions of the planet. Together with expanding ocean waters due to rising temperature, the resulting rise in sea level has begun to damage coastlines as a result of the increased flooding and erosion. The cause of current climate change is largely human activity, like burning fossil fuels like natural gas, oil, and coal. Burning these materials releases what are called greenhouse gases into Earth's atmosphere. There, these gases trap heat from the sun rays inside the atmosphere, causing Earth's average temperature to rise. The rise in the planet's temperature is called global warming. The warming of the planet impacts local and regional climates. Throughout the Earth's history, climate has continually changed. When occurring naturally, this is a slow process that has taken place over hundreds and thousands of years. The human-influenced climate change that is happening now is occurring at a much faster rate. Human-induced climate change has contributed to changing patterns of extreme weather across the globe, from longer and hotter heat waves to heavier rains. From a broad perspective, all weather events are now connected to climate change, while natural variability continues to play a key role in extreme weather. Climate change has shifted the odds and changed the natural limits, making certain types of extreme weather more frequent and more intense. Extreme weather is on the rise, and the indications are that it will continue to increase in both predictable and unpredictable ways. And that's it for today's video. Let's see you again in my next video. Fighting!